Hello, my stalkers. We're back another reaction. We're watching top 10 scary mystery creature caught on video. Let's start this and boom.
Number 10, Goblin or Elf. Goblins are very small, evil, elf-like creatures that originated in European countries during the Middle Ages. Goblins have different appearances depending on what region the folklore is coming from, but they're usually very small, dirty, greedy, and mischievous. Most stories associated with goblins involve them stealing, leaving behind messes, or even killing people, usually small children. In this video, there seems to be a small group of kids or teens playing in a messy room. One teen in particular is in front of the camera kicking around a ball. The boy kicks the ball off to the side and goes to retrieve it when he looks down at a small creature crouching in against the wall. It's very hard to make out what is being seen, but the group collectively screams and the camera cuts off as the small creature bounds away.
Ya, güey. Te quedas aquí. ¡Es calor! ¡Allá no! Ya, güey. Voy por él. Ay, no mames, güey, ya vieron.
Many people claim that this was just a rat that scared the group of youngsters. However, even with low quality, you can tell that this small being is on its own two very human-like legs, and it even appears to be wearing a pointed hat. The way that the creature runs from the group as the threat of being sighted either lends proof to the legend that goblins hate to be seen, or offers the idea that they aren't evil little creatures after all. Either way, seeing a very tiny humanoid in your own home is bound to freak anyone out. Number 9, creature climbs building. This creature seems like it's straight from the nightmare of an arachnophobe, or anyone really. This creature is shot from the upper level floor and shows a very long-legged creature scaling the side of an unknown building in Russia. The spider-like being has 4 massive legs that seem to stretch like rubber, and it moves fluently from one building to the other, and then over the top of the second building. We've actually seen videos like this before with the black stick figure men climbing down a city building in the dead of night back in 2013. Coincidentally, both videos were shot in Russia, are very similar, and went viral, causing a stir among small towns. Could something like this suggest foul play? Or is there just a trend here we aren't catching? Of course, viewers seem to argue that it's fake and it's done with the power of CGI. Even if that's true, you have to give props to its creator for reaching into the nightmare of many and bringing it to life. This phenomenon of black stickmen has been going on for nearly thousands of years, with reports from children and full-grown adults all over the world. So even if this clip is faked, the legend is quite real, and this video brings that fear into your very own computer screen. Number 8, Alien in Graveyard. Alien sightings and reports of abductions go as far back as 329 BC, when Alexander the Great claimed that he witnessed massive silver shields in the sky, which spit fire and dove towards his army. The world is filled with alien enthusiasts and people who have memories of being abducted that completely ruined their lives. So finding footage of aliens here on Earth of UFOs traveling through the sky isn't that amazing. Something about this clip, though, is a little extra terrifying. This video was allegedly shot in December of 2005 and shows an alien in a graveyard. The person behind the camera seems to be walking through the graveyard and taking short video to document the location. The graves seem very run down and unkept, so it's possible this graveyard is very old and the person recording had an interest in that. They probably wanted to get some great footage of the eerie tombstones, but never expected to see a dark green figure lingering behind one. In the video, it's unclear whether the camera person is even aware of this creature, but the creature certainly seems to be aware of them. The extraterrestrial seems to step forward and look directly at the camera before receding behind the tomb. A slowed down and zoomed in shot of the video gives a better look at the creature to show a massive head, skinny torso, and dangling arms. It can also be assumed that the alien is very short, as it's much shorter than the tombstone in shot. As if graveyards weren't spooky enough, this video crosses 2 fears of death and the unknown and puts them in one location. If this video is genuine, what was the alien doing in such an old graveyard? Number 7, the Rake. The Rake is a legend that dates back as far as 1621, but has gained new popularity since the summer of 2003. Many people have claimed sightings of the Rake. There are even several short films and projects out there in relation to this creature, as well as creepypastas. There are several variations of how the rake is described, but is usually referred to as having gray skin, huge black eyes, and no body hair. It also is apparently hunched over and has arms way too long in proportion to its body. This particular video is one of the many that has made their way to the surface of the web. It's a wheat or cornfield or some type, and you can see a very thin and misshapen humanoid creature running through the high grass. The title of this video claims it to be the Ring, and it does seem to be similar to some claims and sightings that have come before. Number 6, Tsunami Creature. This video is actually something new, not something that's everyday hoax footage or like Bigfoot or ghosts. This was posted in late 2014 and shows a severe tsunami hitting a Gulf Coast of Japan. The video is low quality and was probably shot just to get footage of the tsunami's damage. But in the background of the video, the camera person was lucky enough to catch a strange, possibly magical creature. Around 3:13 in the original video, a wave seems to crash towards a building, but then that white mass that appears to be a wave grows legs and a fin and climbs up the side of a building for safety. Sounds like just another sea creature, right? That changes literally milliseconds after it climbs the building when it disappears into mist. There's yet to be a proven explanation for this, and speculations range from exploding fire extinguishers to Japanese spirits to alien creatures that have been inhabiting the oceans for centuries. Take a closer look at this video yourself and you decide, is it just a mass of smoke or something more mystical? And if it is something more on the side of fantasy, what could this be? Number 5, another goblin. This is another video of a goblin or other small humanoid creature, except that this one is of even higher quality, and it's very clear the little creature that runs through the shot is not just a rodent or shadow. A mother is casually filming her infant in what appears to be their kitchen, when the dark-colored humanoid bounds through the shot and darts under a table. Just as the small humanoid is in the shot of the camera, it begins to glitch as the audio is horribly distorted. The mother screams and grabs her baby, but then returns her camera under the table to try and get footage of the goblin. Unfortunately, the goblin is already out of sight.
¿Que te ayude?
In this case, the goblin seems to have a much more human-like body. He isn't wearing a cliché red pointed hat and has floppy pointed ears. While skeptics claim this is fake, plenty of believers out there dub this as the best footage of goblins or elves to date. Number 4, Witch on Fire. A bruja is the term used in regions such as Mexico to refer to a person who practices witchcraft. The term bruja or brujo can refer to any person, male or female, that practices any level of form of witchcraft. While bruja is not immediately a negative term, Mexico and other regions have developed an understanding that evil witches do exist and practice black magic with the goal of harming others. Many witch legends involve elderly women with the ability to shapeshift, steal souls for the devil, and even eat children. This video was uploaded in 2013 and it is titled Fire Witch in the Forest, Real Witch. The description explains that this video was taken because a group of people could not tell what they were seeing and wanted to review the video later. Upon reviewing the video, this is what they found. The imagery itself is pretty unsettling, as it just appears to be a human body engulfed in flames. However, at the same time, the person does not seem to be panicking as they disappear from thin air several times. Again, this video was shot on a dark dirt road in the middle of nowhere, which adds to even more of the aura of fear. Many people are claiming that this is some sort of video editing or hoax, but if you're a believer in witchcraft, you're likely to agree this seems pretty genuine. Number 3, Giants in Peru. This video was shot by a woman who is assumed to be at home with her mother. There's no explanation as to why she was filming, but what she caught on tape was unbelievable. There appears to be two normal-sized humans standing atop the hills, when all of a sudden, one of them appears to stand up or grow in size. The figure is twice the size of the one next to it, which is either believed to be a regular-sized human or a similar creature in a seated position. The woman recording the video begins to cry out in horror and calls her mom to come look.
Dios mío, mamá, míralo, ha crecido, mamá, se paró hacia arriba, mamá.
An investigative team took a closer look into this phenomenon. They placed a man at the same exact location and took photos from the location where the video was originally filmed. The person they used was average height and very thin build. When they aligned the footage of this man with the footage of the alleged giants, the figures captured were indeed significantly taller than the model used. Some other things found during this investigation were that the taller figure was extremely thin compared to even a skinnier than average person, possibly because of their height. And the head of the figure, as well as the figure seated below it, has odd shapes. The model used had very short hair, but even with that playing in, the giants has heads that seem to be shaped more egg-like. The investigation video was uploaded by CGE Peru and will be linked below. The video is not in English, but there's plenty more to be learned about this case. Number 2, Forest Creature. This video is timestamped from 2006 but wasn't uploaded until around 2013. The story is that this is a group of videographers who were exploring a forested area for an upcoming documentary in Catalina, Spain. While exploring the wooded region, they heard strange noises, unlike any animal or human they heard before. They also found trails of huge feathers and followed them. They eventually came up to a man squatting down behind bushes, staring at the ground. He appears nearly lifeless and quite ghoulish. His skin is pale and his bones are very apparent. He seems to notice the group and looks towards the camera with huge glowing eyes. Speculation for this creature ranged from it being a malnourished homeless man, to it being another form of the rake, all the way to it being a fallen angel who was cast out of heaven, which would explain the feathers. No matter what you believe, this group is pretty horrified by what they saw and the images presented in the short footage.
Okay, I'm back. I had to do something really quick. Let's go back to the video.
Number 1, the Hybrid Man. Bigfoot is one of the biggest, most well-known legends in the world and is especially popular in the US and Asian countries. The story comes from a province in China where their version of Bigfoot is referred to as the Yemen. It's uncertain where this footage is originally from, but it looks like it could be from a Chinese documentary or news report. The footage shows this hybrid man that is nearly hairless, has a very large ape-like skull, long dangly arms, nearly no neck, and is extremely tall. The man seems childlike or even animal-like in his mannerisms, and he allegedly never learned to speak a language. However, he did understand what people were telling him. According to his mother, she was kidnapped by a Yemen and sexually assaulted repeatedly before being brought back to her small village, where 9 months later she gave birth to this hybrid. He lived to be 33 years old before dying of natural unknown causes. The common explanation for this man is that he suffered from a genetic disorder known as microcephaly, and his mother is ashamed to have given birth to a mentally challenged child, especially out of wedlock. Microcephaly causes the brain to develop improperly and leads to a smaller than usual head, mental disabilities, poor motor function, poor speech, abnormal facial features, seizures, and dwarfism. The only thing that microcephaly cannot explain is the astonishing size of this man. As mentioned before, it's common for those who suffer from this disorder to have dwarfism, but this man was the exact opposite. There's not much else known about this man, or even the footage of him that's provided. Thanks for checking out this countdown. Be sure.
Okay, guys, that's all. Thanks for watching. I think they heard my voice from others when I was talking. I don't even know. So I'm gonna check it out. I hope you like the video and want watch me more to react to. If you're new but I'm not talking today. If you're new here watching my channel, subscribe that button because I'm hitting to 40 subscribers. I need one more subscriber to hit 40 and I'm gonna do a special video today if I get 40. So see ya and goodbye.